Let's crash into that. Let's make it happen, Captain.
KB 65 is live. Oh, 07. And yes,
We're back. All right. In the verse. 4.7.
and with that said, I did a format, okay? Did a format, and I'm just gonna stick with the PTU for now. And once we go live, I'm gonna convert over to live. So for me, no sense with messing around with live. So much to test with 4.7 right now. A lot to do. I would say 4.7 to me is, I kind of use this description of it as the grinder's delight. You're gonna have those personalities and types of players who they once they start, they lock in on a game. They're not going to stop. They're going to continue to grind until they are burned out. Literally burned out. They're going to continue until they're burned out, man. And it's just a trait. It's just you could say a personality type, and it's not to judge or say that's bad. I think for players of that type, well, for developers, that's a great thing, because you want your game to be one that you want people to play it. You definitely want people to play it, and so that personality fits very well with game development. But the flip side of that, if you have limited features and things of that nature, or immense large amount of bugs in your game, then those player types or those personalities will not play the game. That's bad for developers. That's not necessarily good. With that said, it comes to this point of me saying, this is the grinder's delight right here. You're talking about crafting, inventory, all things that are within that universe that is Star Citizen. It's explorable. It's interactable. You can interact with it, right? You can interact. You can collect, edit, upgrade, enhance, etc., etc., etc. The player's delight. And so, what does that mean? It means those individuals will be in the game a lot, and that's great for the developer. It's great news for the developer, for sure. I'm doing a little different thing now. I would say that I moved away from joystick gremlin a little bit. I'm hoping it sticks with the key bindings and things of that nature in game. I hope that it sticks, man. That it's going to be a thing. I reached out to CIG to see what the latest is, because I think it goes back to, well, I tried the new version of joystick gremlin and wasn't too happy. I said, look, I'm going to go back to the old version. I said, wait a minute. I remember that conversation that Benoit had mentioned to Jared that he and oh shit, damage this shit big time. That he and Yogi were going at it about the key bindings on their joystick, right? And he said Benoit mentioned he had what 13 peripherals connected, or was it a combination between the two? 07 Vickers. So I said to myself, you know what? Let me test that theory. If it can hold up to 13, I don't need joystick gremlin anymore. Did I get fired upon? Yep. Someone's firing upon me. Oh, these sneaky snakes. What is this? I'm getting fired upon, man. Oh, this. Give me a hit. Let me get a hit on him. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, man. Sucker punched. Getting sucker punched. Well, at least I get shot back at him. That's all right. The penguin. All right. All right, here we go. Deploying. Yeah, I had an important. Spawn two. Oh. Oh, I got some victims out here potentially. Go for it. It's the penguin.
Check fire. Weapons system down.
Oh, that's the penguin. Let me try to work on my. I meant to change my strafing here. It was inverted. Sometimes you have to make those adjustments. Strafe up and down. Okay. Seems like it's okay. Let's go back in.
Welcome to Robert Space Industries. Enjoy the run. System check.
Yep, he's there.
Shields damaged. Check fire.
We'll have damage. Oh. Sustained damage in Arena Commander. Okay, strafing is fixed. Now I want targeting. I gotta fix my targeting. Because it should have picked up the enemy vehicles targeting. Okay, that one. Lock. Targeting. Should pick up immediately. I take it that was death right there.
Shields
Okay.
damaged.
It's not picking up the target. Targeting is still not quite there.
Engines down. Check fire.
Oh, snap. He's like, you're making me look like a pro, Kimmy. I feel like a pro with you. Oh. Okay, I'm focused now. For some reason, I gotta get my targeting
Enjoy the run.
right together.
System check.
'Cause figure out, okay, maybe he's gotten bored with me. Take off couple. Oh, let's take that off. Okay, I had VTOLs on.
Shields
Okay,
damaged.
there he is.
Check fire.
All right. I'm gonna try to give him a little fight. A little Aurora. Oh! All right. All right. Let's get back in, shall we? Oh.
Welcome to Pilot Space Industries. Enjoy the ride.
Okay, let's look at my targeting again. For the penguin, put a freeze on me. Weapons. I'm looking for targeting. That should be it right there. Target. Vehicles target. You would think it's this. Just the lock. Yeah. And target cycling, lock target under reticle. Okay, and then there's another one. Attackers reset to closest. Maybe that is what I needed. Right? Okay, I'm gonna lock this in and save it. And I call it 6 Degrees of Freedom, Star Citizen SC. Alright, here we go. Let's look for the penguin. If I hit T, okay, nothing yet. Oh, he's bored with me, huh? He's got bored with me. testing my flight capabilities here. Oh, it's hard to. She's drifting, man. Seems like strafing is just a little off, I would say. If I go coupled, which I don't want to use coupled. Okay, I'm trying to strafe and I don't see any activity from the limiter. Why is that? But strafe left and right is fine. Right? Let's find out why. Okay, so joystick, HOTAS. So we want to go to flight movement and let's try strafe up and down. Absolute. See, it sees it. Z axis rotation. That's why. It was the wrong stick. It was using 4 for the roll. So I'm good now. And then same here. That's my pedals, my 3 axes pedal. See, that's the left pedal, right? And this is the right pedal. Input 4. Okay, we're good now. We are gold. 6 degrees of freedom. Star Citizen. Okay, let's look at this. Let's see how this works now. Strafe. Oh, it's inverted. Look. See the inversion? I want to go up. It goes down. I want to go down. It goes up. How do I fix that? You go to the individual control, which is stick 1, right? I've identified it because it doesn't give you a input like a 2, 3, or 4. It's just the input that tells me that's stick 1. So inversion settings, I want to invert. And so with flight and the movement, and under that hierarchy, you want to say my strafe up and down. It says, no, do I want to invert? I want to say yes. And then I'll come back to key bindings. I'm going to lock that into my settings that I've set. 6 degrees of freedom, Star Citizen, save. And now I want to strafe up to see the platform. Look at that. Strafe up. Now I want to strafe down onto the platform, you see? Perfect. Of course, landing gear works. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. It's gonna slide because there's no gravity. But yeah, okay, it's perfect now. That means I'm ready to go into the verse, right? Let's go into the verse. Exit the menu. Yeah. All right, going back, and I'm going into the PT of you. Knicks 1 land grab continues unabated. I would suspect there's a chance we'll see Knicks 1 next patch. Not this patch, but the following patch after 4.7, possibly 4.8. We may see Genesis. There's a chance. Okay, my FPS. I want to change my visuals and it's not saying it. So go back here. And I want to say, let's try all the different, let's see, vehicles view. And I'm going to say cycle camera. That's set for button 25, but there's also when I'm in FPS, right? On foot. And there's a screen. Reload. I want to see if I can tie in reload and let's see here. I have an opportunity. Golden opportunity here. Let's think about repooling and such. Oh, let me try this trigger. Button 1 to repool. That would be brilliant. At the flip switch on my left stick, right? Oh, wait a minute. There's another. The flip switch is a closeout by default. Okay, here's on foot. Now my camera changes. Do my camera changes. Definitely I want to set my flashlight if I need it. Third person toggle. Here we go. See, there we go. And then helmet wipe, and I'm going to show you it works. Okay, save that. 6 Years of Freedom, Star Citizen. Okay, here's the helmet wipe. Yep, there's the changing of the external camera. There it is. By default. All right, we are set, man. Look at that. Let's get some meds and things of that nature. Yeah, there's a. Okay, that's. Here we go. Elevator is happening. Customs. Hopefully with the social tools, we can turn off external chat in the helmet. And it never comes back until we press that button again. I'm in Knicks. But I was concerned. I saw the rocks laying around on the floor. I was a little concerned, thinking, "Is that the virus? Is that the virus?" Okay, NPCs. So, did everyone see the FPS SEL live? A lot of changes are coming.
Be leaving the station momentarily.
It's hard to have any judgments on it. I mean, well, judgments on true solidified judgments on the game because, yeah, feedback is essential. Look at this dude's helmet, man. That feedback is essential, of course, but in lieu of that, there's so many changes that are happening overall that you have to kind of like, it's almost as if you have to wait until everything is in, and then you pretty much say, okay, where are we now with the game? And I think the immediate feedback, as opposed to this sucks, or I think the immediate feedback is based upon it should be based upon adjustments, because this is going to be a continuous rebalancing, optimization, stabilization. It's going to be a constant, and so you'll just have to echo that and repeat, or just call out, hey, what's wrong, what's going on. Like for now, these player counts are going to go up, and look, this kiosk is already full to the max. So there's probably going to be some conversation on, hey, we need to expand the number of kiosks in this particular location, right? Because it's full. Place them further into the different areas of the this interior here, where some people may have to go on a different part of the, and utilize all the space.
Please follow
If Chris
and
is,
refrain from approaching the tanks.
to what Chris alluded to, they're going to start running the quasi dynamic server meshing. I think the interior teams need to get ready to accommodate that, the scaling.
Resources, and I can just fabricate anything else I need. I feel like it'd do myself some good to get back to basics.
Pretty wild.
Exhausted. Was out late yesterday on my first patrol. Fenwick organised a few people with combat experience to keep an eye out for Van Duel since there were so many ready to swing. I didn't end up running into any, but it was intense. It's crazy how many Van Duels seem to be in the system.
Safety notice. Please follow designated routes and refrain from approaching the tanks.
Gotta celebrate any wins you can get.
It's gonna make you wonder what humanity ever did to make the deal into so much.
It's a good word.
I'm looking into getting one of those side quests with the automatic compensation. Atmospheres, I believe. No idea how the hell it works, but it's pretty insane tech.
Well, that's why. How are things with you?
Anything new in your
That's a good word.
Safety notice. Please follow designated routes and refrain from approaching the tanks.
How about you? You know?
How are things with you?
Can't complain, really. To tell you the truth, give me a bowl of porridge
Anything
in the
new in
morning
your
and my mind is free. I hear Ava Bishop eats a bowl every morning, too.
All right.
No wonder those
Anything
duels
new in
stand a
your
chance.
Yeah, I think it's time. Yeah, it would be great to see the teams anticipate what the other teams may need. And I think with inbound of quasi-dynamic server meshing, the player counts potentially going up, scaling up.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I think utilization of space, especially with interactions that's needed in this space here. For example, we need more kiosks.
Safety notice.
All right, let's
Please
buy some
follow
items, shall we?
designated routes and refrain from approaching
At
the tanks.
Cayman. Gotta have my cruise lux, you know. Gotta have some med pins, you know. All right.
Just finished a shift volunteering with the Wellness Check crew. Some of these old timers have been living out here for decades. And if you need it,
Safety notice. Please follow designated routes and refrain from approaching the tanks.
But it might as well have gone legs or go to a hangar for as much as they know. It's downright frustrating.
well, that's just me for life for the veins.
Safety notice. Please follow designated routes and refrain from approaching the tanks.
Oh, still.
All right. Okay, what should I do? What shall I do? I need to test the moth. I gotta get the acronym right though. All right, let's head out. Have some supplies. Some supplies.
Station momentarily.
I gotta get that green version of that armor. I have to have it. Yes, I have to have it. Sigelian. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the last one. I thought he gave me a shout out, man. Oh, I'm at the exterior. So, you know, I think they are about to figure out desync. I think that was one of the things Jared reached out to Benoit about. He called him on live, and he was going to talk about latency, and obviously it tells you that they are looking into it. And now it's on their radar because with advent of dynamic meshing coming on board, latency is the enemy, public enemy number one. Or should I say persistent universe enemy number one. It will be a detriment. It could cause failure to dynamic server meshing. So it is imperative that they figure out the desync issues, so when they do introduce these larger numbers, you don't feel the latency, you don't get as much rubber banding potentially.
Welcome.
Some of you may agree, some of you may not, but I'm sticking with it. Shimpasta 07s. How have you been, my friend? What's up? 4.7. That 4.7. We're here. Okay, I'm gonna try the moth because it's been mentioned that hey, it's working, or there's a fix that's been applied. Let's see how it takes that patch for the update for it. Let me see if I have my livery. Oh, they're giving us the liveries as well, man. Okay, I know soon, right? No, it's only Friday. It's only Friday, Shimpasta. But it's a good thing. Fridays are always good. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's call up the moth, shall we? Give it a go.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
All right. Let's see. Moth.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
So Mark II is on the way. I would not be shocked if we see it dispatch. What is the Phoenix Emerald is no longer limited? What do you mean? What is the... Oh, the Phoenix is at the RSI Phoenix Emerald. What is it? Are you... Mark II. The Mark II of... Okay, you're seeing... Okay, you're making breaking news, right? It's breaking news. Some pasta with the breaking news. The fancy ship. What fancy ship? So yeah, so Jared, there's the St. Patty's version of the Emerald Phoenix. Oh, okay, I see. I hear you. What are you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it, Shimpasta? You gotta see. You going to, or you have to. You want to, or you need to. Oh my gosh. Okay, so server desync, a dedicated discussion with Benoit Beauséjour is planned to address the recent server's desync topic in more detail soonish. It could probably be the next couple of SCLs. Oh, you gotta have that thing. I see. Okay, this ship is a little molish, but there she is in all of her glory, the moth. What is it? Multi-crewed operational something. I have to know the acronym. still out there. I keep forgetting it, man. I cannot remember it to save my gameplay. I cannot. Yeah, so that means what I think if you follow the breadcrumbs and what Jared was mentioning and what he expressed over to Benoit, in other words, Benoit has been working frantically, or let's put it this better perspective. He's been really focused on the desync issues. Why? That is a necessary element in order to make quasi-dynamic server meshing a reality, but then beyond that, the full-on dynamic server meshing aspect of what Chris's vision in-game is 10,000 per shard, or single shard, something of that nature, and then the meshing of a one gigantic single shard. In order to do that, you have to address desync. It's been a mantra of us experiencing and just calling out for the years of the development. And I think because it's the appropriate time to realize and really attack it now, because as you see, the components and things are all coming together for 1.0. The foundational pieces are starting to be a part of our immediate vision. I mean, it's right there. You see it. It's right there. It's right down the hallway, literally. When you see the aspects of the game that come into play, that says, okay, for the people who are skeptical or on the fence, or saying flat out saying this is nothing but short of a scam just to keep making money, you're seeing aspects of what will keep you in the game, keep you engaged. And then you're talking about the social tools, the scaling up of players and the interactions now. And with the foundational pieces, you can engage yourself and hone your skills with crafting and things of that nature. Now, all of a sudden, it's a destination. And what did Chris say? I didn't see this coming, but now that I'm here, that we're all here in this space, why not shoot for the stars? And so he said, shoot for the moon, and he, Ready Player One, those analogies. And damn it, when you really get down to it, man, it's kind of it fits that narrative, because we didn't see VR. It was only spoken of, and then out of the passion of wanting it and craving it and needing it, and having the space to be creative at Cloud Imperium Games, and having the chairman himself enabling and supporting the creative aspects and skill sets of the developers, that goes a long way. I can't hit it home any harder than that, guys and gals. I'm preaching right now, and I'm 100% correct. When you're in a creative environment and you're, with restraints to standardizations and things of that nature, and respecting the CEOs or the creators' vision, what's left is a huge sample size of growth of skill, innovative ideas, creativity, teamwork. It's like a reality show on steroids, and we're watching it. But yet we can hit a button and interact with it, with what we say and what we interject as far as positive feedback, negative feedback, ideas, and even getting on board and getting out of our chair at home and getting in the chair in the studio at CIG. it's a pressure cooker for sure, and it's easy to call out the issues and mistakes, but the hardest thing is sit in the chair, man. To sit in that chair.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
Not too many people can do that. So respect. But yeah, the Argo multi-operator targeted harvester. I gotta get that name, man. I gotta get it. All right, here we go. So this is a recipient of the MISC. What is that MISC ship? I don't have it anymore. But this grid is a recipient of it. I love how they're able to recycle tech, right? Help me out, chat. Meister Chewy Nums, what's up? How you doing? Crafting has a massive startup time. First, you have to even get lucky with RNG, getting the blueprints you want. Then you have to mine 500Q or higher mats. And so, with that said, Meister, that's Grinder's Delight right there. You're gonna have people who like challenge accepted, right? Challenge accepted. I don't want you to hold my hand doing this, and I'm gonna, and my bragging rights and my reward is I will have those rare blueprints. Let the chase begin, right? I don't know how to get in. Let the chase begin. And I think that's what's needed in this game. It's going to be endless what they kind of come up with. But I'm looking forward to the armor slash clothing kind of thing. And it was cool to hear that Chris is like, it looks kind of silly. We're all running around in armor, ready to like combat and battle, but yet we got to use the bathroom and take showers and go to the social areas in armor. It's like, it's gotten silly. And I think it's basically, it's time to mature. It's time for the gameplay to meet that level of sophistication that says we live in this space. This is who we are. This is how we carry ourselves in the game, right? And so the gameplay and what you do, it needs to be a reflection of that, as though you're living in this space, this simulated space. All right. Ergo Argo, the Motho. All right. I've been working at this for days, and due to wipes, I still haven't made anything yet. And this is just practice, Meister. This is just honing your skill set and getting yourselves ready. And there's the Finra, 07 Sir. Getting crafting on. I would presume, Finra, I want to be in a situation where there's so many things to do that I'm just overwhelmed with features that I'll just have to take my time. And I think that's a good thing. That is a good thing.
You're free to launch.
I love that. Different personalities in, the hangars and voices. Yeah, I love it. But that's when you Meister, when you say those things, like I've been in the game. Chris is just like, he can't thank you enough. He cannot thank you enough. And we're literally, we're still in the first quarter of the year. Yes, for sure. Shimpasta gives them opportunity to reiterate it, get it better, get more balance, but then it's going to allow them to start looking into the economy and how to leverage and make it even more challenging. With how you play the game and how you challenge yourself and others by acquiring rare materials. And what does that mean? It means exploration is here. It's all how you look at it. What's your perspective of it? But for the grinders, I call this patch Grinders Delight because it's good to see that there's going to be something to do for people who, who have this personality trait that says, if I'm going to play this, I'm playing it night and day. I'm playing it. I'm going all in and playing it out. And it keeps them in that loop of discovery, interaction, and building their skill set. It would be nice if dismantled mats were useful, but they aren't high enough quality craft with. What are dismantled mats, Meister? When you say mats, what's that? What's mats? As they say, it's the economy, dummy. Yes, the more they dive into the materials and what you do with them, which means with the skill set, you create value, and then that value creates transactions, purchases, and things of that nature. Selling and the purchasing of items. There you have your foundation for what the economy will become. And as they expand the game through the usage of dynamic server meshing, you have the tendency to find items that other people cannot because of the sheer scale and size of this universe as it's building up. One of the other things I would love to see is being able to traverse over to Vandal space. Of course, it's going to be dangerous. There's going to be extremely high risk, but I would love to see the ability to have players go in that space and find very rare things and take that chance. And 9 times out of 10, you don't make it out. That's the risk reward level I want to see. Rand Print 07. It's been a minute for us, right? But I think at this juncture of where the game is, this is a damn good time to be a Star Citizen, because the dream, we're waking up and the dream is becoming a reality. We're coming out of that deep fog sleep, and we're waking up to say, hey, is it Christmas yet? Right? I've been hearing things of it, Rand Print. I have not tried it. And that's a good thing that I have not. I want to, as I said earlier, I want to have so many features that it's going to take me quite some time to discover it, interact with it, and stumble upon it, because there's so many other things. So yeah, this is a good thing. Oh, it wasn't working. So again, this is PTU, and this is time for them to get it dialed in. So I don't know what the exact problem is, but I would expect another patch this evening too. And that's a good thing there, Meister. The varieties and layers of with that, you can insert risk and reward with that, and it should be procedural. It should be random, right? Not scripted where I'm gonna go here and I know this is gonna happen. It should be random. Dress warm and bring a mining ship. Yes. Bring some warm beverages. Funny thing is, I was working and it stopped after one of the patches, of course. Okay, that means they can figure that out. They're gonna figure that out. Here, let me test my VTOLs. There we go. This is the mode with a different attachment, man. I'm telling you. This is the mode, hopefully not the broken mode. But we're here, man. Look at this. Look at that. I just forgot the freaking name. Multi-operator targeted harvester. And what's cool is, you know, we're getting more layers of salvage, and they mentioned I think, what is it, Elliot Maltby, he said in regards to mission givers and salvage, I think at some point we'll be able to help clean up the verse one ship at a time. But that's really cool to actually look back and say, hey, the Argo SRV needs some gameplay mechanic love, as well as all salvage ships that you can tow or just disintegrate stuff that's a nuisance, or players who get to the point where, okay, I'm done with the ship, and just leave it. You see it, or mission givers will spark from it, and you're able to just utilize those dead ships. And I think they also mentioned there's an aspect of the SRV hauling those. It's a give and take based upon what the situation is and what ship you're in. So I think in theory, the SRV, if you have it and the mission giver sparks up and it's an actual person's abandoned ship, you get to tow it to maybe a space graveyard. I've always mentioned this about having a dedicated space graveyard, but I only said one. But now that we're expanding, they should be all over the place. But I think the initial place where it should start is on the planet of Lorville itself. It's a trash planet. I'm sorry. Oh, did I offend someone? Didn't mean to, but it's a dumpster dive. It's toxicity. So I want to see the toxicity levels go up. I want to see acid rain. I want to see the wear and tear as you're exposed to this. But the risk, that's the high risk. But the reward is doing these grand dumpster dives in these areas where it's just trash, tons of ships discarded and dropped off by your SRVs. And you talk about realized gameplay that's within their scope, and that's another aspect now that we have the crafting and inventory. It would be a go-to for us to run there and have those situations. And some, maybe if you're closer to the city, maybe it's secured. But if you're further outside the city, help doesn't really come along that much. But the risk reward is you'll find more rare items out there, or things you have to refer back to a working state. Or let's say your insurance rates are so high, or maybe you're hurting for a UEC. You can repo, like you said, repo. Hey, wait a minute, give me the repo, man. I do have those repo dreams. I do. I got one more email I gotta answer. All right, let's get back into it, shall we? So, I'm excited for you all because I get to see your approach, your take on what goes on in the game. I'm excited because I get to share in that experience with you and allowing us all in this space and have different unique interactions and interpretations of what this game means. And I think it's what's right with the world. am I too that am I that far off? I mean, talk about Ready Player One and you know, tapping out of this reality and tapping into this virtual reality. I mean, Ready Player One, here we come. I mean, it is like, what's right with the world? And I'm gonna leave it at that. But I mean, down the line, you're gonna see Drazen 07. You're gonna see at some point other games wanting to mimic and take this on, but I think there's a sense of pride with Star Citizen 2 or ownership because, damn it, we've blood, sweat, and tears, resources, we're invested. We're like, you mean to tell me I'm gonna leave this and go over to something else after all I've endured and I've gotten I've gotten them in shape and got them on target of what they needed to do, and now you're telling me something AI created is gonna take that away? Hell no. I think it's a pride thing too, and it's just we've been here for so long, and there's a certain sense of loyalty, I think, with that said. To say I've been here, man. I've seen Chris Roberts games, you know, from when, you know, and I've held the freaking line, right? And you're like, yeah, we play other video games. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, it's a video game, right? But this is a little different. It feels a little different. It's a thing of the effort that went into this, and it continues to this day. But wanting to do something that no one, as far as a shareholder is concerned or a company is concerned, not having the resources, nor the vision, nor the want to kind of get into this space and say, hey, why not? Let's see if we can do this.
Let's make it happen, Cap.
And dream and make that dream reality. Now, granted, it's not going to be exact to what we envisioned, but damn it, it's getting closer. I think now is a great time for CIG to. They're probably already doing this. It'd be a great time to reevaluate the existing points of interest and say, what should that look like come dynamic server meshing? What does that look like with so many players populating the game? And what do we need to bring them into certain spaces at a constant rate, or a necessary rate, or that they have to come to these locations for something? I think that's probably the conversations they're having. If not, I think those are the conversations they need to have to say, in this vast space, where are the hubs and points of interest that we need to create to ensure that people are populating or traveling to, or we utilize or leverage these points of interest to keep people spread out, whereas if we do it well, we don't have to worry about any contingencies beyond dynamic server meshing. Although it'd be smart for them to do that, and I think that's the case. As long as we play it, they're always looking and chasing after those newer aspects of how we play, how we move forward, how to leverage the technology. That's Chris's vision. That's CIG's vision. Further, the continuous iteration of making this the best damn space sim ever. But yeah, to create these spaces that will say, you need to go here, you need to be there. And I think one of the assets that they have, those huge resource warehouses that they have right now, I think that will be a great addition to that will help amplify some of the things with increased numbers in the game. If you may be required to, or you're given missions to bring said goods there, and then you have cargo runners who will distribute on a smaller scale. So like huge enterprise scale can come there, and then it disseminates and breaks down to the smaller scale of cargo delivery to go to the local areas within that area or the solar system, right? That would be huge to see that kind of and that there you have in itself a free-flowing dynamic economy. I think there's conversation to be had about the economy. It's not just a splash of, oh, we need to fix the economy, oh, it needs to be dynamic. I think there's structure that should be established with the economy, and that you set up hierarchies, and within those hierarchies you set up these interactions. So there's Bender. Okay, here you go. That's how it's supposed to be. Well, this is according to Kimmy. This is according to Kimmy. So those hierarchies, systems based upon its native resources, it's in abundance. Other systems, again, unique resources. How does that work? And then sharing of those and having agreements of those. I think Chris Roberts had a game. On the surface, it was more about the people who were working for these entities. If you go back, and I think I played that game, Strike Commander, it was based upon corporations owning or replacing the government. So if we expand that and move forward with that vision, he's kind of doing that now with, the families that own literally planets. But Strike Commander was based on that action. It was visceral. You were a mercenary that worked for the corporation. You pick one and you do your job, and that's nothing new, because that kind of narrative was with BattleTech, Mech Warrior. That same thing. The house, you have houses, and you represented each house, and it was about resource management. And so there lies these connecting entities that they get along. Some are rivals. It creates so many layers of gameplay that there could be levels of espionage between the rivals itself or the so-called friends. You would think that two entities, they're cordial with each other, but underlying they're the worst of the worst against each other, but it's not publicly mentioned. It's the things they do in the dark. So So, but within each system, there should be, trading of items, and on the ground level, the players themselves are able to sell and trade amongst themselves. And now it's, you scale it up, and then it's trade between the corporations and moving goods across systems, and that's when you get into the enterprising aspect. And then you do business with the military, maybe alien entities like the Banu. You travel to the Banu, and there's trade and cargo involved that they are a part of that system too. So it's so many dynamics, so many layers that you can fill out. But I would say you definitely want to have a local narrative to it, and then it's an intergalactic hierarchy. It gets higher and higher, and then you have a cross species or alien / human interaction, right, of those goods, and what it means, and what are the risks and rewards that are tied to that. But then you have circumstances that happen. There's outside influences such as the gangs or espionage that can be a detriment to what they produce, or or how they manufacture things. There's external elements that will bring harm to those entities. So you counter that by saying, hey, I need this. There's a blockade or things of that nature, or things are hurting the flow of said goods, or someone came in and performed corporate espionage and damaged things. And so to repair certain things, so for example, there was corporate espionage within Lorville, but they had to procure more computer chips from Microtech to get their systems back up and running. Things of that nature that would tie in. But then you think on the outside, it's like, oh, Microtech and Lorville get along, but maybe it was spies or people of espionage for Microtech who sent agents in to do those things, right? So they accomplished their mission, and the whole goal was Microtech selling their technology at a high rate to Lorville. Those layers are great potential for what Star Citizen can become, and how we actually, we get to be a part of that and influence those things or cause those things to happen. There's an opportunity to connect all these different pieces, and it's, and its goal is all about profitability. It's not personal, it's business. We're just caught in the middle. And somewhere in that narrative, you have the gangs that are involved. You have the Vandal who wants to wipe it all away because that's what they do. They're a force of nature, more so than the pirates trying to be opportunists, right? They don't want it to go away. They just want to get a little bit off the top and keep it going every now and then, right? Whereas the Vandal wipe it out and move on to the next system and rinse and repeat. But I would also love to have that aspect, have a darker side of that aspect in the game where, yeah, the Vandal wants to wipe us out, and it's not about running through a brick wall to knock us out, but also the levels of intelligence. I want to see that with the Vandal, that they're not super violent each and every turn, but they can be manipulative. Like, for example, they can work through the Banu or the Tavaran, selling weapons and goods of that nature that humans will use against each other, or bring in chemicals that will harm humans, but it's under the skies as contraband. But anything in any way they can do, they would be up to no good in all aspects. But having the humans working for the Vandal under the veil that they're working, the middle alien or the middle man would be the Tavaran, and you want to see the scum, the worst scum in the game. Kind of like what you see with Star Wars, the bounty hunters. You had the worst of the worst. You want to see those aspects in Star Citizen, the pirates, and it's all about the profit.
It's about that bottom line, baby.
And they don't care what hand was involved. They just want the UEC. So you want to see those aspects in Star Citizen, along with the dynamic flow of risk, reward, supply, and demand. A lot of great potential. Once they get all the systems in, get 1.0 in, it's just to say they're not going to be done once 1.0 drops. These are the ideas that they'll more than likely have as far as conversating about what's beyond 1.0. I think overall the good thing about it, there will be enough for us to do in game, and we won't be as focused on next patch. Still, I still believe that it's always going to be a constant of optimizations and stability, but it should get better once they really get to a point where they have most of their systems in game, if not all of them, and then they can hone things and really dial it in, and that's going to happen. But the extra or the treat is Star Citizen continues to find new ways to bring new content to us because we're supporting it, and we're constantly looking for ways to improve the game. But those foundational pieces will be the springboard for everything to go forward. Oh, debris, it looks like. A little sliver here. All right. Multi-operating, harvesting. What is it? Damn it, I cannot remember this. Save my life. Oh, gosh. I just got to keep saying it several times. Multi-operator, targeted harvester. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's go to the middle cockpit. Let's try that. All right, getting up. Going down. Brenda, how have you been, sir? What have you been up to? All right, let's see here. right. Okay, let's see here. No power.
Systems activating. Systems
Systems
on.
All right. Oh no, you mean the salvage beam is on. That's a great question. Probably armor. I would say it's probably going to be armor. Oh no, I don't have this keyed in on my joystick. The mouse works. Let's see. Let's see what it says for mouse. Button 1 mouse. I think it's toggle fire focused, I think. So let me go to key bindings. Yeah, it's going to be armor for sure. And getting myself acclimated to that. And I think from there, I hope that it gets to a point where it's not easy to do it. The risk and reward would be the more you put into it for quality, or just overall quality. When you look at quality, you hit on several aspects of what that means. And so with that said, if you want to get the 100% fill of all those aspects of the quality in that armor, there should be some punishment, some risk rewards that will say, if you're not doing this to the process, to spec, it's gonna take away overall. It's gonna degrade things. I want to see those aspects with crafting. The more quality, the more difficult, right? And maybe timing or timers have to be involved as well. I don't want that, well, I think of it like this. If it's run-of-the-mill, generic, it's something that you can just fire and walk away from, and there's timers to it. But if you want to, so that way it addresses everybody, right? It adheres to everybody's gameplay style. So you say, nobody got all time for that. I got 8 kids and I need to play Star Citizen for a couple of hours. So you have your default. You put it in the system and as a default, and you're going to get the default right across the middle. Or if not, it'll randomly, it didn't do too well, right? Put it back in the hopper and you give it another go. But I think for the aspect of, like I said, the grinders in us, we'll go all out and really be attentive and put the blood, sweat, and tears into it. That opens up everything for everyone in regards to crafting. So if you don't have time, or you have something just to cover you just for coverage, then fine, that you're good to go, man. I mean, just go ahead and use the basic aspects of it and keep it going, because you're going to find those, more than likely you're going to find those your run-of-the-mill pieces of armor, which it should be that way. But then the very rare, you'd be foolish to do the run-of-the-mill crafting of it. For rare items, you're going to give it 100% attention, and it should be difficult. To me, that's the balance. To me, that makes sense, and we all can respect that in game. Or yes, and if let's say it's the run of the mill items, and you have a template for the very rare, it's going to take a lot of material to get it to hone it right, to get it into place. It may be more of you have to refine it to where you want to use the most purest of that element. Say, okay, I got 84% refinement out of this material. I don't want to apply that. If you got 98, 95 percentile, and it says this is optimized for that rare item, then I'm like, yes, I put the work in. That's what you want. That's just my opinion. It could be totally different with CIG. But that would be my dream right there. That would be my, check and balance for crafting and the discovery of rare items, or the blueprints now. Everything is going to become a blueprint, pretty much. It's going to be yours. And so I think with that said, there also should be layers of, hey, as long as I have the blueprint, I can do a run-of-the-mill type for it. And then it creates that piece, that crafted armor or weapon using, the rare blueprint item. And I use run-of-the-mill material, and after so many times, it's no good, or it falters, and it misfires, or it takes damage like quickly. And it's like, okay, I just wanted to use it for that mission, but you got the armor that you have in your display case, those are like your pristine ones. So you want to keep those special occasion or just bragging rights to say, hey, look at that. That's rare. That's 100 percentile, or I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. That type of deal. Those aspects of the gameplay will keep you engaged in Star Citizen, having that as a option. As long as you have the blueprint, it should not matter. I guess I contradicted myself maybe, but yeah, you should be able to have a rare blueprint and use whatever materials, and it will play out as expected based upon its quality, right? So yeah, so the more quality, the more material you'll need, the more honing and the more refinement refinement is required. Like I said before, you can't do that. The mats, what are the mats, Meister? From dismantled items is too low. The mats from dismantled items is too low in quality to use in crafting. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. So shouldn't you, well, I don't know. It would be cool if you could still utilize and make that item from that blueprint, and then the quality will play itself out. Oh, materials. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes. Got it. Materials. Like I said before, you can't do that. The materials from dismantled items, it's too low in quality to use it for crafting. Wow. So there's a point where it's like, So what do you do with it? Can you scrub it? Can you collect it? And I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Very nice. That's very nice. Thank you, Meister. Thank you for that. Sometimes one resource will not have a Q rating, but the other two will most likely. And it's 500 Q for the minimum. So your rates, you have to accumulate till you get to that rate. Got it. And that's the minimum. The minimum. Yeah, further iteration. But we'll see. I mean, this continues, and it's tier 0. It's just the beginning. Oh, so this part of it, the chomper is from the seat. I gotta chomp this stuff up now. It's not worth it. Yeah, I think this is just. I think this is a good space for CIG just to dial things in, get things stable, right? But also adhere, or let's say not adhere, but listen to the feedback and see where that leads them, and see where the player is, the movement of the players. Watch them, and to see and monitor what works, what doesn't work. And I think that's part of the process, is that we can have these conversations, and because at the end of the day, it's got to play out. We have to be able to say, I've mentioned this, I gave good objective feedback. Well, CIG wants to wait on it and let it kind of marinate and see what happens. And now they're like, okay, we don't have a lot of people playing this. Okay, we need to fix this. Or, wait a minute, I think I can work with this. I think I can. Oh wow, look at that. I think I can work with this, This is not that bad. Give medium selfish ship. It's the Gib. Oh my gosh, I would name this ship if I can get a chance to name it. The Gib. The salvage Gib. My gosh. Oh my gosh, the salvage Gib. Very good. That could happen, Meister, for sure. The Gib. Fracture field. Oh, I can't fracture this. So I gotta disintegrate. Here we go. The salvage Gib. The Gib. The Gib grubber. Yes, Pat Pending. Okay, do I need to have... It's got to be between the... Let's see here. Got the sweet spot right there. Oh, this, you can't disintegrate this. It would be nice, though. It's got to be a ship that you disintegrate. I keep messing up the rules here. That's kind of cool, though. Oh, we got an audio bug, maybe. The Gibinator. The Gibnator. Yes. I think we got an audio bug. I believe so. Yep. things. This is why it's PTU. Ooh. That bug has to be fixed. Oh, that is not a kind bug. Okay. Let me do the workaround. I'm gonna Alt F4 chat and see if that's gonna be the workaround. Okay, I did an Alt F4. Let's see. Audio bugs.
Music by Wikipedia.
Session is full. Oh, I got kicked, man. Oh gosh, I got the double 30K. 1 second, I've been drinking tea, y'all. Be right back. Drinking tea. He went away. All right, 1 second. chat. We are back. All right. Okay. Now I got to put my earplugs in. The sound is gone. Okay, Alt F4 is the way to make the sound go away. The bug. All right. Let's look for some more garbage. Man, you can hear the ship creaking. You can hear creaking, man. That's cool. Flying the moth. Oh man, I almost said mole. It gives you, you know, I think they're onto something with industrial ships, especially the larger they get. Missiles would be perfect as a defense measure, right? Because it can't fight. But if you pack it with enough missiles, I think there lies the solution to potentially PvPers attacking. Of course, you know that's a part of the game, right? But it should be also a narrative of understanding this is how it's designed, but you also come prepared. And I think when we start to see these larger player counts start to happen, then it makes all the sense in the world that if you're out and about going and chasing after UEC through the lens of the industrialist, right, then you should have escort security for in your org that's with you, or you should commission groups to help you. But if it breaks down and say, hey, I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to put it on myself, then I think the ship also has a need for some sort of protection, because it's not deemed as a fighter. So here's the thing: give it the missiles, CIG. I think it will help to balance it within those situations where, you know, the player counts are going to come up, they're going to be higher. You're going to have these occasional interactions of, well, pirates attacking. But I think with the social tools, I think Tara has mentioned stuff like that too. It's about, hey, let's have a conversation here. I'm not trying to destroy you, dude or ma'am. I just want a little bit of the UEC and I'm on my way. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm gonna let you do what you need to do. But yeah, I just need a little bit of that UEC and I'm on my way. The social tools will help balance that as well, because then you have the aspects of, hey, it makes sense. You're cosplaying the hell out of it, right? But then you have some who, you know, by choice, I'm just gonna blow you out of the air because you're an easy target. I'm just gonna shoot you because I can and I want to, and there's nothing you can do about it. We need the missiles for the industrialist ships. Or if you balance it, maybe some sort of EMP cannon. You know, if you get off a lucky shot, it will immobilize the PvPer for a minute and you can get escape. Defense measured based tools, not so much of fighting tools, because that's not that ship. Defense measure, that's something interesting too, to kind of create you know, when you look at nature kind of gives you these solutions, right? Because you go into the animal kingdom, you see species of animals that's not so much of their predators versus predators, but you have some animals that have defensive measures that will say, I can protect myself enough to get out of here. Another example is, you know, not a smoke bomb, but it emits this mist, and they're working on mist, right, in the game. So maybe these canisters disperse like a squid ink, but in space, these plumes are where you can't see, kind of like a flashbang of sorts. Different things can be used, and then it gives you um, choices and options, right? If you're an industrial ship and you're going to take that risk and say, I'm going to, it's about my bottom line, and I don't want to spend it on, protection and things of that nature. Yes, I was reading that, Meister, as well. They're rebalancing it so it doesn't wreck the components itself. The radius affects the hull itself, and this, they said, it gives them more balance, right? So they can dial things in correctly. So I was delighted to hear that. Oh no, this is I gotta go down and let me try another station here. I'm gonna try the one to the right, starboard side. Test that one. I tested the middle one. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so more missiles for the industrial ships. I think there lies your balance. And gives the player a fighting chance, or defensive chance, should I say. A defensive chance. Down here, let's see. Yep, I saw that door open up. Where's the lights in this place, man? This is like from the movie Aliens. What's up with that? My automated lighting, man. Man. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. I think they've learned from the mole. The mole. We're in a cockpit now.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Oh wow, look at that. Switch it over to a braid. Cool, cool, cool. Wow. Let me. Okay, yeah, I can control it now. I was about to say. Neat. No material. I want to be able to turn off the turret system, so I'm going to find that in game. So let's see, cockpit, I think. Ascendant, how have you been? 07. What is going on? 07 Rizzy. Oh wow. So we have Flight Hub. I want to see. I think it's called the cockpit or stations. Something about stations. I think that's where it. Turret advance, turret movement. Let's see, turret advance. No, man, it has a speed limiter as well. Turret movement. No, wouldn't be there. Salvage. Not there. I would think it's a turret that I'm in. I don't know. Quantum. No displays. Seats. Let's see. Operator mode. Set mining operator mode. Set scope. Okay. Let's see. All right. I think I did that. I need to ship the munch. They said that this ship can devour the equivalent of a 600. Where's my lights in this place? I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but I would think that there's automated lights or something, but no. Oh, the ladder. There we go. Basic lights, man. Where would they be? That's a panel. It opens. Let's see. Curious now. Components. Components. Yeah, that's that's the irony of it, Meister, is the fix was supposed to be with this ship, and then bring those fixes back over to the mole. So but that didn't happen, and honestly it could have just been, we need to get the ship out. We'll have time later on down the line. When we look at the number of ships that are coming out, enormous amount of ships that are coming out, because Mark II, right, they did the improvements with the Aurora series and Mark I, but the Mark II is due. But the Ironclad Assault, and a plethora of other unknown ships that are coming. There's an Origin, I was about to say medium size, but no, there's a mystery Origin ship that's coming as well. And I think they've done a really good job of it not being leaked so far, right? They've done a really good job of that. But it's so many ships. The command module, I gotta add that too. But they have a lot of ships there. Also, what is it? The Wolf Kruger has another ship. It's called the Mantis, I believe. A bomber or a medium-sized fighter, right? So they have a ton of ships. So I can understand, but it doesn't feel good at the same time, right? But supposedly, you know, this new pass with the Moth, people were saying, hey, the scraping or whatever was very not good for the game. So I'm thinking it's been fixed or improved, right? I'm thinking it has been improved. But yeah, there's a lot more to do now, and I can only once 4.7 drops. I think we got a good 2 weeks of them just getting it polished. I think there's no rush per se, because we get this patched, and there's a cooldown period, right? So April will be a cooldown period, and then May is the next big patch. So what do we have there? Could it be quasi-dynamic? Hence, we've been hearing conversations of Benoit and Jarrett. They're talking about desync. They're doing a deep dive on desync. his last time speaking with Jared on Star Citizen Live, he mentioned not dynamic server meshing, but a quasi state of it that, you know, Chris kind of piggybacked off of that at his trip in Australia of saying, hey, look, we're looking to get 1,000 to 2,000 players per shard. What does that mean? What does that look like? I think this is probably why that conversation came up about desync. And I think this has been one of those things of, I think it's one of those things, it's not a bug per se. It's due to the system not being updated to accommodate larger scale, right? And them not having the time. But I think the time is now. I think the clue or the Easter egg or the reveal the other day was, hey, Benoit he's going to really talk about it. He's seen in depth what needs to be talked about. He's going to text it to us, or he's going to post it in Spectrum via Jared. I say, Jared, good looking out, because I think that's one of the constants since the game has been in development, the desync, and you know what it was described as rubber banding. You'll go one point and you snap back. Desync, rubber banding. All these crazy things that will kind of cripple how you play the game, and you have this mismatch of what you're doing and it doesn't register properly in the game. You said, man, I know I shot that person. I know, and how did they take me down with one shot? I shot them several times, right? It's like it didn't register right. But I think that's, again, that's one of those things, has been long in the tooth, has been around for quite some time. That's going to be on my radar to hear what's going on, but also it's a needed piece in order to get us to those higher player counts. How many do you think we'll get once they go to the quasi dynamic server meshing? I'm thinking out of the gate they may have 1,500 easy. I think we'll be at 1,500 or a little over that, the first drop of quasi dynamic server meshing. You heard it. That's my first one. Over 1,500. And I think they get there, wow. People are going to be amazed. That's going to be an amazing thing. I kind of suspect that we're going to get the updates of the tram systems, the elevator systems, the next patch after, or the patch after 4.7. Oh, it turns off the, Meister saying there, I think when you power on the ship, it turns off the cabin lights. That's weird. What? So that's definitely a bug, Meister. Did I turn on the lights or did I turn them off? Now I gotta, let me get up and see. I hit the lights button on the, or do I have control in the ship? Okay, this, I hope this isn't, is this the light for the ship? Maybe these are the lights. It's kind of creepy, isn't it? Like alienish. Like you're in an alien movie. Okay, these are the materials. .07. Holy smokes, the filler stations. I'm just getting started. Those canisters, that's a blockage there. It's not even one. Check the vents. Where are the vents, Meister? You said check the vents. He's saying check the vents. Where are the vents? What are the vents are you talking? Yeah, when I heard that it was bugged, I'm like, okay, I don't feel like running into a brick wall. So I said, well, now that we're here, I said, may as well start to go in with the testing now, because it's already been proven it's been broken. or mission giver, right? Let me see if there's a mission giver for a ship and get those effects. Okay, contracts, salvage. Damn, that's 31K. Why not, right? The introductory contract will require you to head to a wreck site in the Glacium Ring. Let's go ahead and accept that.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
Track it. Locate salvage claim 82391. Okay, tracking. Oh, there it is.
Landing gear down. Landing gear up.
Oh, I gotta keybind my quantum controls. My quantum drive. So I'm gonna go to flight movement. Okay, here we go. Cycle. I think this is gonna go away too. Cycle master modes. There we go. That's my cycle button. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I think that's gonna go away. There's gonna be some sort of, maybe not. Okay, here we go.
Shields off. Quantum travel engaged.
That was alright. Yeah, I like the ship so far. I mean, it's hard not to like it because I've been wanting a medium-sized salvage ship for quite a bit. I like the logo brand too. The T crosses over the H. That's pretty freaking neat. Good branding right there. Very nice branding. And that red blob over there. I was talking earlier about heading into Vandal space and maybe trying to, sneak onto the moon and find rare artifacts and bring them back. And 9 times out of 10, it's that one time you're able to get away and procure and bring back some items. How amazing would that be? And I think post Squadron 42, Chapter 1, I think that's when we're going to see a healthy dose of actual Vandal on foot, in ship, but on foot in space station raiding or attacking, and you're engaging them in the verse. I'm laughing because people are going to freak out. People are going to freak out. And I would love to see them at the most inopportune times where you have a pirate, robbing a citizen, and they just pop out on everybody. Raiding parties from the Vandal is necessary. It's a necessary character or entity. It's a foundational piece of the game, and they should just be a force in nature, always trying to infiltrate whatever means and whatever methods. There's no rules, there's no fair gameplay. It's just the Vandal wants to wipe us out. Keep it simple. They just want to wipe us out. I only did an Alt F4 because there was a audio bug with the grinder, and I went to turn it, retract the grinder, and the irritating noise just kept going. I did an Alt F4, but yeah, I'm running and it's running well. I think the best stability for Star Citizen is its availability. So
75%.
it's sustaining itself, and this is just the Wave 3 patch. So pretty good. I must say, pretty good. Stability's there. Almost 2.5 hours, no crashing. Oh wow, there's a lot going on out here, man. A lot going on. Okay, where's my spot? New objective: salvage the Aegis Gladius at Glacium Ring wreck site. So I get the munch now. Get those shields up.
Shields on. Landing gear down. Landing gear up.
Those brakes. Oh yeah, the space brakes. Lovely. Lovely. Sorry, Vickers, your beloved ship is gonna get scraped and munched.
Shields off. Shields on. Landing gear down.
Trying to see. Okay, I was wondering why was I drifting. Let's see. What's the landing gear? No, I don't have forward thrust or backwards thrust for some reason. Why did it check out? Not sure. Let me look into this. My maneuverability forward thrusters, forward and back thrusters are not working. This could be me, but I just want to investigate and see. Forward, back. Okay, it sees it as slider 2. No. Okay, there we go. Yes, there was also a bug that. Oh, that's another thing. NVIDIA is actively helping CIG with their graphics cards. They recognize and they're helping. I think that was a huge thing. But I think prior to that, to your point, I sent in, there's something, it was a game smooth on feature and it wasn't working. And people were like, okay, don't use this patch. Okay, see, now it's working. See, there it is. And the game would not launch. It was a black screen. Okay, let me just go over here. Let me line up. The surface, the flat surface, the top surface. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. It's working. Go to the starboard port, or not port, starboard cockpit area. Come on, ladder. There you go. And these, I assume these are NVIDIA drivers, correct? I send it. Oh wow. Holy smokes. This thing is putting in work, man. Oh boy. Wow. Oh, nice. NVIDIA. Yeah. Yeah, they are actively updating CIG's drivers, which is pretty cool. They recognize them right now. I think someone had mentioned, you know, they suspect they've been in Mort since they were working on Squadron 42. And now that it's almost, or it's getting closer to the features, for most part, there's becoming a parallel of the features in Squadron 42, and then you have the persistent universe consuming or those new features in from Squadron 42. I bet the ones that are not revealing gameplay secrets, right? That's not kind of spoilerish. Then those features that can come across to the persistent universe are starting to migrate. As they mentioned, they're migrating quite a bit now, and it's not things. There aren't the things that are. They're not the features that are saying, "Hey, you're giving away the story of Squadron 42." Like one example, they mentioned swimming. And you know me, that's my jam right there. I'm like, okay, it's time to go underwater. Sub-Citizen. Let's go Sub-Citizen. Another aspect of the universe, another layer to explore and utilize with interaction, interact other places like that, unique places, and capitalize on the resources that's there. Can you imagine kelp farming? You have a kelp farm and you're mining, there's a mining ship for underwater. Or you can have a like they talk about heavy armor. What about a kind of 20,000 leagues under the sea deep dive diving suit? And then you talk about there's a creature team, the different fish that you can collect and put in your aquarium, and they have a quick lifespan, so you're constantly, creating. Some have longer lifespans than the others, and if you're not treating them right, they die quickly. But you have aspects of trading with that, So this is nuts, man. It's just getting nuts. I want to collect those fish and have a fish tank and trading and literally fishing for food purposes. And I think with crafting, we're talking about inorganics. What about the fabrication of organics for food and things of that nature? Blueprints for cuisine, and man, it's Ready freaking Player One. This is. I know you say, Kimmy, please stop. Stop it. It used to be, no, one patch at a time. No, you can have these conversations openly with little to no pushback now, right? Starnautica. There you go, Meister. Starnautica. Yep. It's insane that they're literally building this thing out. And it's funny. If Chris, I will, I will bust a gut if he comes out the next Citizen Con with a fishing pole, and and Chris said, "Well, I did say not this patch, but guess what? He has a fish pole. I'm going fishing." And everybody, me too. Camper's delight. I mean, man, that would be. Oh my gosh. It just, all it does is create more value to like your homestead. You have your base near a river or ocean, and for sustainability you can go and fish and acquire and just, oh my gosh, man, come on now. Come on now. It's those subtleties. Everything doesn't have to be dramatic. Everything, doesn't have to be violent. There's aspects of the game where it's just like, hey man, I just want to hang out in my base, chill out, select my furniture, change my lighting, check my resources, make sure I'm shored up, make sure my items list, maybe search for some blueprints. But now I'm going to head over by the river and I'm going to do some fishing. I'm going to catch some to eat, catch some to sell, and fill up my fish tank, whatever the case. Or now I'm going to take the Subnautica ship under the waves and check my kelp farm and sell that, that seaweed for sushi in the game. I mean, it's just ridiculous stuff. Had a weird atmospheric event 2 days ago. Took out the power grid. I thought the power surge just hurt the computer. You have it on the backup. I send it. I would do that. Make sure it's on the backup and a surge. A really professional level surge protector for sure. No doubt about that. I think now is the time to do it. If that, obviously that's a concern, so I think you need to address that immediately because that can happen. I remember a long time ago, man, this is way back, I was playing World of Warcraft 2, right? And lightning hit a power pole near my house, hit the power pole, and didn't realize what happened, but after the lightning hit, I smelled something like it was something burning. And it was coming under the desk with my computer. Come to find out, the lightning went through hit the pole, hit the ground, came through the telephone line, and fried the modem. It literally fried the modem. Well, the rest of the computer was fine. I had to replace the modem. So yeah. Okay, I see there's delays and like I said, desync. I hit the button 3 to 4 times. Some material there on the ship. Okay. And I believe I'm in a cockpit. This would be great for the look at that. That is in the cockpit. That's the update for when they go to Mark II for the or let's say Rocks. What up? Long time, sir. Yes. How are you? How have you been, Rocks? 07. It's been a minute. Yes. Um, I love what they've done with this. This tells you right there when they go to Mark 1 of Argo, they're just going to close this canopy. That's beautiful. That's a great thing, man. Closing that canopy. That's going to really bring a resurge back to the mole. It's going to give it value. People who may have melted may just decided, hey, I'm ready to come back. No crashes, rocks. I do see, there's some audio bugs or bug. Some desync when I enable like the salvage laser. But overall, not bad. And this is just right now in this space with the salvage ship. Now I'm going to disintegrate the ship. Totally disintegrate it now with the Moth. Multi-operator. Something harvester. Multi-operator. Oh God, what is the T? I can't. For some reason, it's not meant for me to remember the Moth. The acronym. Targeted. There we go. Targeted harvester. Multi-operator targeted harvester. You're right. Okay, I'm going to break it down now. Yeah, it doesn't matter how it works before live. All kinds of things will happen still. Yeah, in that progression, I think the key to most of this Meister is once the features, for the most part, are in, it should be a deep dive, a deep cleansing of polishing the game. But as new features are introduced, yeah, you're going to have that. But it should be a lot less of problems like that, bugs and things of that nature. And you have to do it as you go along. This is not your traditional game where you put everything in and then you scrub it. With this game, you scrub as you put in new features, but then the amount or the frequency of new things that come into the game, they're slowing down. And so what that means is that team or those teams can go back and start scrubbing and optimizing things. But yeah, whenever you put in or introduce new things, there's the potential. But I think it's overall it's going to get better. I think I want to fracture, right? Okay, I'm in fracturing mode now. Let's see what that looks like. Well, it's going to be the same thing as the vulture, the reclaimer, and what's the other one? The the mist ship. I can't get the name of that ship. Now I want to disintegrate. Oh, wait a minute. Can I double dip? Well, I probably could double dip again. I think they know about that. That's an exploit. Oh, I'm hitting things. Okay. Let's see if I can. Damn, everything's scattering all over the place. Holy smokes. Did it just disappear? Holy smokes. Okay, I'm just going to disintegrate it. Clean it up. Clean up on aisle 47. I would say take every bit of the 2 weeks, Meister, and you know, I think they want to be done by the end of March for sure. But yeah, if they can really get it polished by the end of the month, that's going to hold us well over it for 4.8, especially with crafting. I think this is going to require them to maybe put some time into it, but I think there's also the option of, hey, let's drop it to live because we only can get so far with cleaning up, and then what that means is you have a narrative of people who will steer. You have a narrative of people who will steer clear. The sound is gone. Okay, the sound is gone. You're gonna have people that's gonna steer clear and stay away from PTU, thinking, I don't want to test, right? Because it's buggy, it's a mess. But there's the aspect of it drops to live, and then you have this mindset of now I want to play it, but then there's the potential of now that I'm playing it for the first time, I've encountered bugs or a bug. What gives? That's it's self-explanatory. You didn't participate. You didn't introduce yourself into the environment to kind of see what's going on. And the assumption is, oh, it's in live. It's okay to play. To an extent, yeah, but the reality is everyone's computer is different. And now that you don't have a choice, you want to play the game. It's a live environment. Now you're going to encounter some things that are, you know, reminiscent of what the testers were going through, or you're going to encounter something totally new. So I don't know. I guess the case of the argument is, well, with live it counts. In other words, the UEC, the accumulation of UEC, it means something. Then I'll do live for that purpose only. Mike's just like, exactly. Yeah, that's the slippery slope. That's the aspects of, I'm gonna assume because it's live, it's a live environment that's being tested upon that further improves. And I think when you open the roadmap and you see where it started to where it is, you still say, yeah, there was bumps in the road, or let's put it this way, there was patches I remember, man, that was like 318, no way. I'm steering clear of that. Or one of the better patches, 323, let's go back to that day, you know. 3.0, oh, don't get me started. But when you look at the overall progression to where they are, you're saying to yourself, it's a damn good day to be a Star Citizen. Damn good day to be a Star Citizen. And then, you know, you can't get enough ships in the game. You cannot. So, speaking of which, Kraken, not this year. 2027 for the Kraken. I'm okay with that because I think the consolation prizes will be the Ironclad, the Ironclad Assault, and most importantly, the Galaxy. What? I don't care. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm saying with the Galaxy, you understand. Okay, take your time with the Kraken. I can rock with the Galaxy, right? It's like, okay, I'm fine. I'm good. I can get through it. It's going to help me get through. Yeah, I think it's going to be the thing of I play, I test, or I play and I expect this, but it keeps moving. The dial keeps moving. And beyond 2 and beyond 1.0. We're headed towards 1.0. We're gonna start saying what's the new 1.0? Is it gonna be 1.5? Or is it gonna be Star Citizen? And then you just Star Citizen version 1.0, Star Citizen 1.5, Star Citizen 2.0. You know, in little fonts, not big ones that we see. 4.7. No. But I think it's going to get to a point where, you know, once they start expanding, once we see those 5 systems, once we see Castra, once we see Terra, all of a sudden we're like, okay, base building, okay, all right, just keep doing what you're doing, Siachi. I have enough. I have enough here to sustain what I want to do, and this is from the lens of, if you are a grinder and you know, I've heard the expression, scratch the itch. You'll have everything you need to scratch the itch and continue to dig until you draw blood. You can itch until you draw blood. There's going to be substance there. Most of the people who play don't subscribe, so lack of testers it's their fault. I think, Vendor, I think the other thing to that is, people say, well, they don't want to pay, that's fine. But I think the other part of it is these patches now, Bender. I mean, it's becoming a thing of when you see the features, you can't help but want to play it now. We're at a point in this juncture of the development track. It's like a new patch, and you got to see what's coming. You got to, you know, people are going to lose their minds when they see Planetary Tech on the list for 4.8 or the quasi dynamic server meshing. They're going to lose their freaking minds, because then you're talking about, or the social tools. People are going to lose their minds because now you're talking about the true aspects of Star Citizen. I get to hang out with my org. I get to interact with more people. I get to look up in the sky and I see all these freaking ships going here and there and all over the place. And now that adrenal is pumping through you, and you're like, should I risk it? Should I take it? Should I go for it? And you have those encounters. Now you can't help it. It's like the oasis of Ready Player One. People are there. You just got to get in it. Victor is a little salty there. It's like, get what you get. You deserve this. You sound like that Pink Floyd record. We don't need no education. We don't need no control. If you don't eat your meat, you get no pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? And Pink Floyd, man. Pink Floyd. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Oh, man. It's your fault. I love these stairs for some reason. I don't want to let go. Let go, Kimmy. Get off of the stick. Come on, dude. Oh my gosh, man. Whew, had to back away. Oh wow. Maybe there's some reward in that. They can tell how much you play. Possibly. See, there's desync. I'm hitting the button and it's like, I gotta nudge it up a little bit. I'm out of range. it up just a little bit. Oh, come on, steps, ladder. All right, that should be high enough. Strafe a little bit. Let's see now. The reward was supposed to be access to P2 in Wave 2. But to your point, Bender, it's about they need concurrency. They need as many people to stress test things. And I think it's not just that immediate feature, but I think behind the scenes, I think this is a Chris Roberts Benoit thing. They're getting also, I think they're probably several steps ahead of patches. And so what's going on is it may be Benoit wanting the concurrency to get ready for the dress rehearsal for quasi server meshing, right? So they're getting those numbers in, and then they want them. And of course, the more people you have in the game, the more people you get in the game with these deeper waves, the more you're going to get evidence of you're going to repeat or create those bug reports, right? And you're going to then realize, okay, we can kill these bugs off because it's more concurrency or issues that this number of people are running into the same thing. We can set those on priority lists to get rid of those bugs or to attack them. But also the things that are ahead, like right now, a lot of things are predicated on the social tools that will allow for scaling. The social tools will be a part of this scaling up of the game going forward. And then of course the quasi-dynamic server meshing is a thing. So this is a great time a great opportunity for them to actually get people in the game when they say, hey, we have these many or this many of waves opened up all at once. They're looking to get a rush of how many people jumping in. And so I think that the litmus test behind this is you spread the word that, hey, we went from wave 1 or in a couple of days to wave 3. And people are like, oh, and I've been hearing about this inventory thing. They want the service to be slammed. So I think it's a testament to say they've been working on optimizations so that things are going to help them get the dynamic server meshing technology taken care of. So when it hits the market, when it hits live or hit PTU at some point, or it's announced for the next patch, they're going to be well enough. They're going to be ready. They're going to be ready for it. I'm looking forward to that too. That's one of those things on my wish list. The dynamic server meshing. Okay, it's like I think I'm stuck. Power off. Yeah, the buttons are the exit seat. Okay, and let me Alt F4. This is a bug because I get stuck in the cockpit seat. like I said, excluding non-subscribers from tests goes against what they want. Well, no, they want. I don't agree with that. I think they want subscribers. That's the whole gist of it. I think that's the marketing business side of it. That there's something to be said about bringing in revenue for Cloud Imperium games, because there's a burn rate with this. Having these number of servers, they're going to ramp up with more servers, and due to the fact that they are expanding the way they are, this is why we need another aspect, or another reason why we need dynamic server meshing is they want efficiency out of their servers. So it's not just hitting or opening up all these servers to accommodate everything. They can do that, but what is the burn rate? What is the cost to all of this? What is the cost to all of this? That's the issue. And so the subscriber aspect, that's the business side of it. It's not about just the video game. It's about cloud above the video game and gameplay, and making sure, and people are having fun. There's the true business, the reality business side of it. So you got to have those subscribers, because outside of that, we would all be playing. We would all be paying monthly subscriptions, and then it wouldn't matter then. And you got everyone's to access it as long as they're paid. But then you're gonna have, it's gonna flip. Oh, I don't want to pay this. Why do I have to pay for something that's not even a game? So it's pick your battles. But at the end of the day, it's a business. I don't think they're screwing up. I think they're just they have every opportunity to do well, and if it doesn't hit, if it hits and miss, guess what? They have another month or two to get it right, and it's been going on for probably a little over 12 years. So it's not an absolute on their part. Like, I was interested. I thought those little medical kits were cool. I thought, look at that, man. They got a little med kit type of deal. I think, and again, I think there's space for us to kind of speak to them on a marketing level of, hey, this item would be cool, or that item would be cool. Have you ever thought about this item, CIG? I want a fishing pole, right? When I go fishing, or some of the other things in the subscribers, a deep dive suit, or maybe, oh, they just mentioned something about the what is it, the BB-8? Someone told me, I was having conversation about that flight module thing or backpack, and people said it's already in the game, and I'm like, no. And it was cool to know that they officially announced it, and I was like, yes. And I was right. I was right. That BB, is it the BB-12? So they didn't say the name, but they did say that there is going to be like a pack. And that would be so cool when you go to eject, and you can they already have it in games with the, what is it, the mech that we have? I need some Omega-3s, man. It's the mech. So it doesn't allow you to fly. I don't want to see fly citizen, but I want to see float citizen, or just where you can turn on that would be a skill, right? And you kind of like, you eject, and then your descent, you're able to slow the descent, but the longer you hold the thrusters on, it depletes, and then it has to build up again. Man, you can make a cunt. People would just use that as gameplay. Eject out of or jump off of a mountain, and then see if they can just come down to a feather soft landing. I would just spend hours just doing that. Or do it in heavy gravity, where you gotta there's the balance of when you deploy it, like almost like a parachute, but it's fuel based. I mean, those kind of physics, man, it would never get old. Okay, let me see if I see it. Flight suits, combat flight suits. Yeah, the flight suits aspects is going to change, and I think with that said, that opens the window for subscriber flair that is that can be utilized in game, and I think it will. I think here's the goal, and I'm kind of glad you mentioned this because it opens up conversation of. I challenge the subscriber team or the marketing team to come up with subscriber items that we can use in the game that will encourage other people to, even just for the moment of dropping down 10 or 20 bucks for that month, or just to get that flair item, or they sell it maybe, or they buy it. It's just still the same equivalent, but more useful things and items that you can use in the game and say, I want that particular item. Holding back testing slows down development, thus making it take long to get done, thus increasing the amount of income subscriptions. Message of the day. Okay, 1 second, Vendor. I'm gonna jump over that. I got that MOTD, man. It's got me right there. Hold on. Shimpasta, breaking news. We are currently putting together a new 4.7 PTU build for a Wave 3 release later today, with the goal of opening more waves if build validates. Here's the other thing too, the frequency. Have you noticed as of late the frequency of these releases, that they're not playing around with getting those new features out to everyone? There's a higher frequency of releasing it on volume now, and I'm delighted to see that they're not holding it. It used to be where they were very meticulous about when they release, and it was like it would take so long, but now they're like, wow, you gotta love it. Yeah, the subscriber loot has been lackluster, and I think that's a challenge for us. I'm about to say that's a challenge for Ascendant. That's CIG. That's a challenge for them. They could leverage some of these items like we see in, or not. I haven't seen them, but features in Squadron 42. But I think they have something. I think they have something interesting with these updates to combat and the armor sets, and then like the stuff that the Starware stuff. They can take some of those items and leverage it into the subscriber flair. You mean all the features that don't work? A bunch of X patches. Yeah, eventually. I mean, and that's the thing. You're kind of saying things. You're almost answering your own statements, because you're saying when you're rushing out stuff, you got to take a large number of people to double back to clean it up and fix it. So I kind of see their methodology of trickling in things and vetting and testing it and make sure it's not problematic. We've seen that. But then we're also seeing, as of late, the concurrency or the high rate of them dropping things on a larger scale and getting it in and locking it in. And I think it's something to be said about getting the foundational pieces in, and where it's to a point where it's tolerable, you can then hone it, clean it up, stabilize it, right? But yeah, I think this is just going to be that type of game because of its scale. That's the allure of it, is its scale, but it's also its detriment to development and optimizations and stabilizing the game. This is also its scale is its detriment to that narrative. That's what hurts them too. But I want them to go for it, man. I gotta have those. I want those 100 systems. Damn the bugs. I want 100 systems. Give me those 100 systems you promised, Mr. Roberts. I don't give a damn about the bugs. Give me 100 systems. I can live with it. This one's up your alley, Vendor. They had like the stealth armor. They were talking about that. But yeah, they mentioned this backpack that's supposed to do some other things, and it was mentioned by that team. I gotta find it though. Another good one is like if you're down, you can crawl, or you can hit yourself with a med pen to get yourself out of a damaged state. I love that. I say yes. That's totally something different. Now it means that the actual PvPer will have to shoot you dead, as opposed to you're down, you're incapacitated. You can still, if you have the med pen or the med gun, you can still use it. I love that. Thank you, CIG. Keep the gameplay going. Scanning is going to be the thing. I love that. It's interesting that they're using scanning and targeting and pips and things of that nature, the ranges. They're incorporating that with how you load out your ship. That's going to be interesting. But it's almost like you have to put the work behind it to get it to its normal or default state. EVA backpacks, which will provide additional fuel and oxygen for extended EVA activity. This will further reinforce the idea that players need to prepare the right equipment for the task. Not every armor will support EVA. Some armors will be designed for environments where EVA is not expected, while others will be built specifically for space operations. I like that. EVA gameplay will become more dependent on the armor you're wearing. Yeah, this is big deal, man. Oh, I'm back in the ship.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Okay, now I can get out of the... There we go. The Apex Valagar. I think that's going to be one of those sandbox event type of gameplay loops. I can't wait for that, where you're just flying or in a vehicle hunting and shooting the Apex Valagar, and it's moving around and you're trying to avoid it. Monster Hunter. You know, Monster Hunter, Star Citizen style. Oh, no, 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 no. I didn't want to go down there. Oh, boy. Sticky hands and ladders. This is not good. Okay. Yeah, you got to kind of like let go and let it reset. But this hallway is tight. Okay. Oh. There we go. Ship shields with ships.
Systems activating.
I want an armor rack system, something simple that I can see my armor on display. I really understand. I totally understand the problem, keeping it persistent in the game. Yeah, it's changing out your armor, or can you? Here's the other thing. It's probably a little arcadish, but let's say you have the fabricator also becomes storage. Data storage. So as long as you have the material, let's say you've already concocted that particular armor, and you keep on your ship. Oh, that's dangerous right there. No, keep it in memory. So you keep I don't want to keep blueprints on the ship where it can be stolen. I want to be able to take that data and transfer it onto once the fabricator have it, it's data, right? And let's say it needs to be, in instances of having to recreate it, you have to have the material and then you reinsert the blueprint, right? But if you have the material, maybe you have a number of times based upon the material you have. Maybe you have 2 times that it'll save it in memory, and then you have to reinsert the blueprint, right? Because I don't want to get into a thing where you lose that blueprint or it's stolen. You keep the blueprints in your base, right, or storage, or your local inventory. You pull it out of your local inventory and use it. But it keeps sort of like the imprint of it for 2 turns, and then you have to redo the process. So it's almost like a closet. I like that idea. I sent it where it's held in memory, and you hit the button. As long as you have the material, you hit the button for that suit, it generates, and then you wear it and you can go. You need to hydrate, kid. Oh, that sounds so familiar. Yes, sir. Well, yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Once you have them, it's locked into your inventory. So yeah, I'm just being safe. I said it. I just want clarity, man. Because that's volatile right there. That could be a heated debate. I want them to get it, but hamstringing themselves for money will wreck this whole company. I think it's a balance. It's at the end of the day, it's will always be Cloud Imperium Games, the video game company, until they're gonna build on more features that we see fit to say it's worth buying, right? I think one of those things with the build up that people are starting to look at, and I think this is a consensus. What if they say for bases you can only have one, and if you go to move somewhere else, you have to deconstruct that one and then build another? And so with this anticipation and this build up towards base building, and you are seeing crafting, inventory, and things of that nature, and these larger ships that can run these resources, and you have more of people in game, and then the systems are expanding. So it does leverage the value and the want and the need to have not just one base or inventory stockhold location. People will be chomping at the bit. Right now, there's a consensus to say, when are they bringing back the homesteads and the land item stuff that you can, and then you go back to 1.0 and you get your answer. Yeah, you get to earn your citizenship, and then it says you have the right. I don't know if it says you play the game, you get your certification or your license to say, hey, I'm a certified star citizen. I can build anywhere, especially within the UEE territories, which is protected, and it's high. It's noted as high security or high sec, and so you want to, it only makes common sense that you build that as your main number one base, as opposed to what's the alternative. You wouldn't arbitrarily, as a single player, build your place out in Pyro unless you know the rules of the game, right? Outside of that, the next best thing to do that in comparison to you're building in like a place like Terra, you have a large, strong org that's 24/7 patrolling and actually being their own security. Then you say, hey, we can build our bases anywhere. Matter of fact, we chose Pyro because of the risk and rewards of the resources there. So we're rich because of that. So still, the middle ground where that resides for orgs, large orgs, single players, you want multiple. You want the aspect of having multiple locations, like, the spy movies, the safe houses where that spy goes to the safe house, and there they have a plethora of armor types, weapons, food, and they just restock. Or let's say they're a cargo runner and we have 10, 15 systems in. You need these stationary or these satellite abodes, or these locations where you can stop, refuel, stock up, refresh, or lay your head down for a couple of days. Or let's say you're being chased and you need to hide out, especially whether you're being chased for your cargo, or you're wanted by the law. People will say, I want 5 of those, I'll buy them. That's my point. They're building it up where it will make sense to have these locations spread out, which means if you purchase multiple locations, more than likely you're going to be making runs there to restock and make sure everything is done in those locations, right? So you're proactively helping the dynamic server meshing to be dynamic, not underwhelming meshing. But it helps the system overall, because now you have several places. You've paid for them, you've helped the business, Cloud Emporium Games, but you also help the technology by keeping yourself spread out, which is interesting in itself, because then it will almost show that dynamic server meshing is the Jesus patch. Potentially.
Docking initiated. Docking denied.
Oh, damn.
Landing gear down. Docking initiated.
Docking denied.
Docking denied.
Ooh.
Landing gear up.
Oh, hanger queue. I'm in a queue. Waiting for my queue to happen.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
Kid, wait a minute, Patson. Where are you seeing this? I can see kidnapping becoming a thing in Star Citizen. If you got the blueprints, getting forced to craft for pirates, I said that you have issues, man. Pyro is your home, isn't it? We got a pirate in our midst, ladies and gentlemen. A true pirate. It just came out. It's only natural. He said, I can't help it, man. This is my release. Oh my God. I see kidnapping in the game. Is that human trafficking? Holy smokes. I see it. There's profitability into that.
Shields off. Docking initiated. Docking denied. Landing gear down.
Okay, while I'm here, let me get my bindings right, because I remember now what should be what. My docking, quantum travel. That's hilarious, man. There's something to be said about making profit of that. Fight docking. I'll go old school for now. Says I'm obstructed. That's a shit. Now see, this is the part where I'm hoping that they really
Shields on. Docking denied.
is this my docking? Nope. Someone else's. Let me try it from here. F1. Comms. Nevsky landing control.
Look, I'm sorry, but you waited too long to land, so I had to give it away. Hopefully we've all learned a lesson here.
Oh wow. Learned a lesson here. I'm in risk management.
You've already asked me that.
Oh, damn. What ship is this? Dead ships, man.
I'm lost. You want me to do what? No. No.
Whoa, this is different. I called for landing.
Have a good one. I'm lost. You want me to do what? No. No.
Oh, I see it. There's my hangar over there.
You're clear to take off.
Is someone jumping in my hangar? Was that who's? Oh man. Okay, the hanging. This is only going to get
You're
worse.
clear
when
to
we-
take off. Good luck out there.
Oh wow,
There
where?
you go. All set. There you go. All set.
Oh, he's super annoying, but I like it. Okay, I'm in a queue. I'd have been shot if I jumped in that hangar. It wasn't mine. It usually has your name on it. I'm in the queue.
Docking initiated. Docking denied. Landing gear up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a room or space for people to test the inventory and crafting. And then I think the appropriate feedback is wait, give it some time, and kind of catch the more intrusive bugs with it, with crafting and inventory updates. Knock those out and then go live. I mean, you're always going to have states of this is this is bug, that's going to be bug. You're going to always have those states, but if you get to the ones that are game breaking and knock those out, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be going to live. And so you have a time and moment to kind of like hot fix, and then you're ready for the next big patch. I think it's going to continue to be that's the cadence, that's the process, and you hope for the best. But at the end of the day, prior to the release of Squadron 42, they have to get this, the Squadron 42 expectations, right? And then the PU, with all of its updates, is still here. No, you got it. One is a contingency for the other. So it's got to be almost, parallel or equal in content and polish. Well, content versus a finished product. You got to have the content will hold it up, will be a complementary piece to Squadron 42. Once it's all said and done, when it's ready to release, one complements the other. And this is why there's the narrative is why are they going in really hard on getting the patches and pushing them, right? Granted, they're not as going to be as fast as we want them to be, but you compare it to what they've been doing, they're moving at a very fast pace, because they have to have that content to measure up to kind of, once you're done with chapter 1, you want to come back into the PU. And that's whether you've been playing since 2012 or being, a a follower since 2012 to playing up to this point, or a brand new player who's, you know, a week old of playing the game. They've just jumped into the game last week and they're playing the game. You want that level of content so that when you move from Squadron 42, you're overwhelmed with so much content in the game.
Systems off.
Oh. Oh, wow. That was different.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Let's see here. I want to see the name of that MISC ship, that MISC salvage ship. Misfortune. Okay, that's what I want. Of the Argo Moth. Okay, it's there. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, not bad. What do you all think of the new inventory system as a whole? Are you liking this or what? Are you feeling it? What's going on? I know one thing, I can't pull my helmet off. Okay. You interact from here, these points here. Not here. So, or put it on your hip. In your backpack. How do you all feel about the new inventory system? Oh, look, there's your grab here. Love it. I like that. I mean, it keeps it simple, man. I mean, it's like you don't have to aim for those little details. Slide it right up in the backpack. There's another item. Put it in your hand again. I gotta say, man, I love it because it's straight. It's intuitive. It's intuitive enough. It's intuitive enough. Hit my inventory key. Drop it in my backpack. Stack them. And then bring it back over here to. And you see the green highlight to say, hey, you hear that whistle right over here. Look, and you just drop it, man. Yeah, I'm digging it. Gun, put it in hand. Oh, yeah, baby. Put it back on your holster. Oh, yeah, baby. Slot number 2. Slot number 1. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm digging it, man. it's an improvement, a major improvement. Silence means, yeah, they agree. Silence is agreement. That's my take on it. But I'm going to break for a moment. I'm going to get some lunch, y'all. But thanks for hanging out. Great conversation, as usual. I'm back. Get back in and do some things, man, and see what's what. But thank you all. And be back. It's the weekend. I got to get some work done. I got to do some other things. Deliver 01 SCU material composite to Levski. Okay. Got it. This is testing. I want to see if it holds up. So I'm going to look at the persistence. But I probably want to come back later this evening. If I'm finished some things I need to finish and do some other things. But again, thank you all. Great conversations and great time to be a Star Citizen. For sure. Keep chipping away at it, CIG. Keep chipping away at it. Oh, 7s, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna get something to eat. I get a bit to eat. A bite or bit.
Music. I Walkopedia. Let's make it happen, Cap.